Hey y'all. I just got something that I very exciting that I feel like I am supposed to share. I'm not a big YouTuber. I've got one video before that I felt like I was supposed to share, and this one is too, and it's very exciting. Every morning I wake up and early before daylight, and before I get out of bed, before I do anything, I say my prayers and do my Bible study, pray for everybody, and pray for my family, for the country, for just whoever's on my mind. God always puts somebody on my mind. And then I read my Bible. And while I'm reading my Bible, I'll stop and I'll ask God a question. I'll say, Lord, what does that mean? Or Lord, and He'll speak to me just in my spirit. I'll hear an answer. And so yesterday morning, I was I was reading in my Bible, and He's done this before. Just gave me a word. I was reading in my Bible, and all of a sudden I said Mephibosheth, and I was like, Mephibosheth, and I knew that was in the Bible. So I found it, and I always have to look these up. Sometimes he'll just want to tell me something, and he'll give me a word, and I have to go look it up and see what it means and what it's for, and then ask him about it. So I looked at Mephibosheth, and Mephibosheth was in 2 Samuel, where King Saul was king, and he had his son Jonathan. And Jonathan and David, not yet King David, he was younger, he and Jonathan were best friends, and they were friends for life, and they made a pact with each other. Even when King Saul was trying to kill David, he was jealous of him because he knew that the people loved him. And so Jonathan would help him. And so they made a pact that they would always be there for one another. Well, King Saul and Jonathan died in the war, and David was made king. And so he asked the people in the um, where he was, and he said, "Is there any descendants or any family of Jonathan that I can bless?" And they said, "Yes, he has a son, and his name is Mephibosheth, and he lives in the village." And he said, "Bring him to me." And he said, so they brought him to me, and Mephibosheth didn't know what was going on. And he went to the king, and he was lame. They said that something happened at his birth, and he was lame. And anyway, so he came before the king, King David, and he said, "You are the son. I've asked for you to come because your father Jonathan was my best friend." And he said, "I want to bless you." And he said, "I want to give you all the blessings and everything that is due to you from your father." He said, "I'm going to give you all of his land and everything that was due to him. I want to give it to you." And he did. He gave him all of his, and he said, "And I will give you people to take care of it for him and work it for you." And he said, "And you will always eat at the king's table." And I said, "Okay." I said, "Lord, what is this? Why did you give me this? What did this have to do with anything?" And all of a sudden, I just heard in my spirit, "I'm coming to take the children home, and they will eat at the king's table forever." And I thought of the Lamb's Supper, the bride. He's coming for his bride, for the wedding supper of the Lamb, and that is us. And that's the good news I have to share today, that Jesus is coming soon to get his bride and his children, and we will eat at the king's table with him forever. It's going to be soon. And you think, well, that could be whenever. That could be 100 years from now. Well, Noah told the people God told him to build the boat, there was going to be a flood. It took him a long time, and he kept telling people, "You better get on the boat. You better get on the boat." And it said they were scoffers, and they made fun of him and everything, but they were banging on the boat when God shut the door, and he said, "It's too late," and they perished. So He's coming soon. And take this seriously. Don't be a scoffer, because God is coming soon. And if you just give your heart to the Lord and say, Lord, I want to be with you in heaven. Forgive me of my sins, and I want to be with you in heaven. And I give my heart to you. He will, and you will be, and you will be at that supper table with the Lord. I love y'all. Jesus loves you more.